thank you all for being here tonight. We'll welcome you to our second meeting in August of the Floyd County Commission. We've got a busy night tonight with a lot of things going on. If you'd like to join me, I'm going to lead us in our invocation and the pledge if you'd like to join us. Our Father, we want to thank you for this day, for the community we live in. We have a lot of people suffering. We ask you to help us find ways to help them and to improve our community and make this world a little bit better place to live in. We ask these things in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I think everyone on the commission has looked at the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve our agenda?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Hancock to approve the agenda. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters? Yes. Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have several people that are signed up for public participation tonight. I'm going to call your name. If you come up and give us your name, you'll have 3 minutes to tell us what's on your mind and heart. And we'll start with Terry Wright. Terry, are you here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Life's throwing some emergencies at me, so I'm not quite together right today, but not as prepared as I'd like to be. So I'm hoping that a lot of people, and I was hoping Virginia would be here, but a lot of people were pretty upset with the things she said. I don't quite agree with what she said, but I was going to commend her because she did her job, and I saw that. But I also see a storm brewing, and I think y'all feel it coming. And so I'm hoping that you will take it seriously. Some of the things we've requested, the job description that was changed. I hope that you, when you fill that position, will all look at any qualified applicant that has the education behind them, because the things that happened in the runoff will prove that experience will not replace some education. I did not know until recently, as a ballot pickup person, that I was supposed to have taken an oath. That did not happen. I'm not the only one that did not take an oath. I don't know if you're aware of that. I'm hoping that I also addressed a few meetings ago, the Rule 183 was violated. I'm hoping that you all will seriously look at the allegations. I know we're going to take it seriously. We'll probably take things a little further. We haven't at this point because be honest with you, some of us just have not been able. Again, I'm hoping that you will look at those applications and not rely on the election board to tell you who they think is qualified. If there's someone with some education, please look at all of those. Don't take HR's word for it. And I had asked that y'all look at who changed that job description. And I would hope that as a board, that you would take that seriously and get to the bottom of what happened there. And I appreciate you taking the time and letting me get up here and speak. I'm sorry I wasn't as prepared as I usually am. And again, I don't agree with what Virginia said, but I commend her for doing her job and taking care of our county. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Next, we have Amelia Rulin. I may not have that correct. Yeah, that's probably it. I couldn't count it. And if you give us your name and address.
Sure. My name is Angela Rubino. I live at 1410 Kingston Highway in Rome, Georgia. I'm going to speak about a few things tonight. So I'm going to start with the election scam of 2020 involving the 2,600 ballots. I would like to say that I'm not surprised. Unfortunately, I'd like to say that I'm not surprised, but unfortunately that's not the case. This organization from the beginning. And having Dominion staff running computers, I wouldn't expect it less. I think the shock of it is finally realizing that this has been going on for quite some time. This is an absolute embarrassment and a sham of election integrity. And the straight disregard of the American people. I left New York 3 years ago to get away from the crazy liberal commies and touchy Cuomo, not knowing that Little Rome has been infiltrated. In all honesty, who can we trust? Our governor, Secretary of State, local officials, who all refused a forensic audit. Elise Kemp did sign an executive order to ban masks and vaccine mandates, but now Rome Hospital wants to enforce personnel to get the deadly shot and to choose between their livelihood and their lives. The school now wanting to force our children to wear masks at Floyd County. They've already succeeded with Rome City Schools for something that has been proven to be ineffective and useless and causes more damage due to the high CO2 levels. What they are doing is child abuse. It takes 12 years to get an FDA approval, but with much political push and agencies taking money from Bill Gates, the monster, who is not a doctor, who made the Pfizer death shot, who is the same person who speaks religiously about depopulation, has faked, along with unreliable media yesterday, that they got the FDA approval. It is only an extension of emergency use. When does the masquerade end? FDA refuses to meet with doctors with actual medical degrees, and a letter from Ron Johnson, U.S. Senator, stating the 20,000 deaths associated with the COVID-19 shots, reports of over 16,000 permanent disabilities, 51,000 hospitalizations, and 572,000 total adverse events related to the COVID-19 shot. So I ask, who is taking money here in Rome? Because this is all too political. If anyone has actual concern for the well-being of the people, you would tell us to refuse such a deadly shot. It is not a vaccine, it is a man-made poison. I'm here along with many others to let you know that we are well aware, and the games have to end. We do not stand for mandatory vaccines or masks. We are free people of the world, a beacon around the world. And if we go down, the entire world goes down. We demand an audit, an investigation into each and every person involved in the hijacking of the 2020 election, and that they all be held accountable for their disgusting actions. And that it is due time that all darkness comes to light. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Sonia Schuler. Okay, thank you very much. Those are the only three people we had signed up for public participation. We appreciate you coming, appreciate you expressing your opinion. That's what our country and world is made, or our country anyway, is made of, and we appreciate it. We'll move on with approval of minutes. Do we have any additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, those stand approved as submitted. Got a couple of great things tonight. I'm going to ask Dave Robertson, our sheriff, to come up and lead us in our recognition of some outstanding people and an outstanding employee while he's there. We'll do the citizens first.
Thank you for allowing me to come say a few words. As of last Tuesday, I think a lot of us saw that video of the animal cruelty case that we was able to put on a couple of individuals. And we couldn't have done it without some hard work from people in this room, especially from a citizen and some of our staff. So we just want to make sure we acknowledge those individuals here. And I'll just give a brief description of what happened. It shouldn't take very long. Last Tuesday, August 17th, a report was received of a puppy located in a dumpster in East Rome. Animal Control Officer Sky Atkins responded and took the puppy. The dumpster was located at a local business, and the owner, April Rogers, provided surveillance video of the puppy being tossed into the dumpster. A vet exam of the puppy indicated signs of neglect. Sheriff Deputy Jeremy Clay investigated the potential criminal activity of aggravated cruelty to an animal. Thanks to the video from Ms. Rogers and input from our concerned citizens, 2 people were arrested for this crime. Most importantly, the puppy is now safe. And I think many of you that came in earlier saw him in the hallway. And, I'll let Jeff Mitchell, if he has anything to say in reference to this, because he looks a lot different than he did last week.
Okay.
I just want to thank Ms. Rogers and Sky Atkins, my animal control officer, and Deputy Clay. We got a wonderful teamwork environment between all the departments within the Sheriff Department and the other agencies, and we work good together, and it takes citizens to helping us as well, so I greatly appreciate Ms. Rogers stepping forth and providing us with the video and everything. I just can't commend these guys enough. The puppy we have with us is named now Justice, and has gained 11 pounds since being in our care and custody.
Speak with him as well if you want them to come forward. And
We've got some-
Yeah, we've got some things here we'd like to, they'll come on up.
So without her, if we didn't have the video and her and her staff, this may have not went on it.
And I just want to say, many of us saw the horrific video, and it was heart-wrenching. And but for you to take the time to make the call to get something done, and then for our PAWS staff and our sheriff's office to come together and make things right for this dog, and to make sure the people who were responsible are held responsible. So it's a feel-good story today, and it certainly does our heart good to see this puppy thriving. So looks like you might have an adopter back there.
I was about to say, I think somebody's taking it home tonight. And it's got a great personality. I mean,
Tell you how much we appreciate it. It makes a difference. Over here.
This couldn't be done without a great team from animal control and sheriff trusting me to do my job.
And we'll say thank you again for their hard work and recognition for all of them. Next, I want to recognize Captain Mark Blank. He's actually been retired officially for 2 days. So I just want to know if he's ready to come back to work. You ready to come back? Oh. Well, I know last week some of you was able to come by, a little ceremony we had for him. Mark, I've known him since I started 26 years ago, and he was there on my first day, and I was lucky to be there on his last day. And He's been with us for 43 years in public safety and 38 with the sheriff's office. And I just think he's put a lot toward public safety and the people of this community. And it's kind of been a thing around our office. If we didn't know an answer, it's like, well, go see Mark. And I know we always went to Mark, and he was always able to get the answer for us. If not, he would find it out for us. I just hope he keeps his phone on. I know today when he called, he had the same number, so I'm sure I'll be calling him. But I just want to say thank you for allowing us to come and present him with his weapon, retirement weapon, in front of everybody here today, and just thank him for his service. Like I said, 43 years, public safety, that's something to be commended. And I'm real thankful that I've had a chance to learn something from him in this profession. So thank you.
I think Commissioner Hancock would like to say something. I'd like, before everybody leaves, I just want our citizen, that's a wonderful thing you did. We need more of that help in keeping our community safe, and thank you so much for doing that. Our employees, we would expect nothing less of you because we've got great employees, but you did a wonderful job on that, and thank you so much for what you did.
Yeah, thank you, April. Appreciate you. You always keep me informed on what's going on, and I appreciate everything that you do. And this was really courageous for you to post that video on your own page and take that risk. And I hope you didn't expect Lee to take care of you. If they call you, call me. I'll get somebody over there. But that was really a courageous thing for you to do. We appreciate it. That dog was, if y'all didn't see the video, it was grabbed by a leash and tossed over into the dumpster like a bag of garbage. And then the guy went back to his car and then come back and closed the dumpster lid. The dog was in there from Sunday till Tuesday. It was in there for 3 days before she found the video and saw the guy and went on her own and took that risk to post it. So thank you for doing that, and thank Animal Control for following through, and the sheriff, and Clay, thank you. The sheriff is always responsive. Anything that we need, he always answers it, and we appreciate the relationship that we have with you too. So thank y'all very much. As the chair of public safety, this is the kind of thing that we need, the partnerships with Animal Control and our citizen engagement, and it's really appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll move on into our agenda. We have one first reading tonight. I'll read that, and then it will be acted on at our next commission meeting on September the 14th. And that's to adopt an ordinance by the County Commissioners of Floyd County, Georgia, to establish Floyd County as a broadband-ready community. And that will be held for a public hearing at our next meeting on September 14th. We have a bunch of second readings and public hearings tonight, and so I want to go over our rules on those to start with. Bryce Woods will come up and read each one of them and make a presentation that you can watch on the screen, and then we'll open the public hearing. Those wishing to speak in favor of the proposal will have up to 10 minutes. That's a cumulative 10 minutes, so if there's several of you, please be cognizant that other people might need to speak. Then we'll have 10 minutes for the opposition, and we'll close the public hearing. At that time, I'll call on Commissioner Maxey, who is our representative on the Planning Commission, to make a proposal that we can discuss here if we need to discuss further and vote on. So that's the way we'll do them. We have 9 of them, I believe, and so maybe have 10.
10.
We have 10, so we're going to ask you to be cognizant of everybody's time. And Bryce, if you'll lead off with number 1, we'd appreciate it.
Yes, sir. The first request is Z21-07-06, which requests rezoning from agricultural residential to heavy industrial for the property located at 0 Huffacre Road, Rome, Georgia, 30165, Floyd County Tax Parcel F12040. Applicant owner Jeff Grant. This is a map of the parcel. It exists on both the north and the south side of Huffacre Road, as well as the east and the west side of Fuchsia Gap Road. It is currently zoned agricultural residential. As you can see by the purple, there's quite a bit of other heavy industrial in the area. The biggest non-industrial neighbor would be Berry College to the north, which is currently wooded. As y'all know, there is a 200-foot setback and buffer requirement when you're adjacent to residential. And there's also quite a bit of a topography change from Huffacre Road up to the top of the property. Next slide, please. This is provided by the applicant. This is also a map of the property. As you can see, this is a very rough plan where it shows roads being carved in, potentially future roads, which would lead you to believe that it's probably going to be some sort of an industrial park development. We did hear the rumor that there was a possibility that some sort of mining or storage of coal ash would be on the property. That would require an additional special use permit. You could not just go in there and do that. This is another map provided by the applicant. And this does come with a recommendation of approval from the staff, as well as the 8-0 approval from the Planning Commission. The future land use map from the comprehensive plan does show this property as being industrial. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll now open the public hearing. Anyone who'd like to speak in favor of this, you have the podium, and if you'd give us your name and address, please.
My name is Ward White. I'm with Southern Consulting Services. We've been in business for about 40 years. We manage timber, develop commercial, residential, and industrial developments. When we purchased 1,100 acres previously owned by Boral Brick Company, it was our understanding that all the parcels were zoned HI. What we discovered was a split zoning, which is what we'd like to correct here this evening. Part of the largest tract of all the parcels that were part of the package is about, total acreage is 357 acres. The portion that is zoned AR, it's not clear to us what the intent was originally, why it was never ultimately zoned HI as we understand it was intended to be. The property is consistent with past use, current use, and the future land use map, as well as surrounding properties in the area, both adjacent to us as well as up and down Huffacre and Technology. We are not in support of the property being used for coal ash. We buy land for long-term or long holds. Our primary business 40 years ago began as timber management. Because we're going to be in communities for a long period of time, it's real important to us that we be a good member of the community. So coal ash to us is not acceptable. Financially, it would destroy us. What we are in support of is utilizing any of the overburden or clays or dirt that's on the site for construction projects, environmental cleanups. We've got offers to purchase the soil from a brick company, which we see as a positive. I've actually just given the green light to have the flight, or have the site flown again, so we can determine exactly how much soil can be removed from the site before it actually hurts the site. We're also in support of conversations that we've had with the Economic Development Authority. Again, we buy land for the long hold, so 1,100 acres, we're going to be part of this community for a long time, so it's real important to us to understand how we can play a positive role. And we've had some great meetings with the Economic Development Authority where it's exciting to hear and see some of the potential new employment centers that could potentially come to Rome. We see that as a positive for the community, and so utilizing the land as an industrial park, we're certainly in favor of that. And whatever we can do to be helpful in attracting the type businesses that you guys are interested in for your community. I'll also address the timbering that we've done on some of the parcels. Part of timbering is creating jobs, and although in the past we've run our own crews, what we like to do when we come into a community is actually hire locally. So we actually hired Daniel Dunnigan's company to come and timber the property. We feel like he's done a great job. We're appreciative of that partnership with him. Some of the property, we had problems with beetles. We had trees laying over like matchsticks, and it's real important that you get in there and you eradicate that and get rid of it. Some of the property was not managed properly, so the trees are knotty and gnarled and just not high quality. So sadly, we had to, in a lot of cases, clear the site in order to start over. We will work with universities to come up with a plan to replant. That has not moved forward as quickly as I would like to, because I've got to understand how much soil can actually be removed from the site before we cause harm to the site. I'm getting close to accomplishing that, and once I have a clear understanding of what that can be, then we can also start to address some of the replanting. I think that's got it.
Okay, Ward, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak in favor?
Good afternoon. My name's Missy Kendrick. I'm with the Rome-Floyd County Development Authority. And as Ward said, we have been working with Ward and Jeff to try to add some inventory to our industrial assets. And so we are asking for your support. We definitely support the rezoning from AR to heavy industrial to help them develop this property, all of this property, into a Class A industrial park for Rome and Floyd County. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak in favor? If not, we'll move to the opposition. Are there those here who'd like to speak in opposition? Come up and give us your name and address.
My name's Tiffany Hall. I live at 2015 Fouché Gap Road. I think this is, for me at least, this proposal is a little bit of a head scratcher. This is obviously been rural property. It's located on a little 2-lane road. I think it has a 30-foot right-of-way. Up until recently, it was mature woods and, you know, part of what I would consider a gem of our community. I think that a lot would have to happen for what Mr. White's proposing in terms of a community investment. And, you know, the road would have to be dealt with. I don't think that our road there would be able to handle that kind of heavy traffic. I don't think there's sewer out that far. There are plenty of other properties up along Technology Parkway that are already ready to go for that kind of project. And it doesn't make any sense to me as a taxpayer to reinvest in a whole different kind of project out here, farther out where all that stuff's not available right now. You know, we like to think of ourselves, you know, as cycle friendly, and that area is heavy for cyclers. And I just think it would change the whole dynamic of that area. And I think that there are other properties in our community that I would rather see us make an investment in along Shorter Avenue, some other vacant places that really I would prefer us to make an investment in some places other than a brand new project. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening, Commissioners. Thank you for your time. Let's get this right here. My name is Clint Wilder. My family and I live at 3585 Big Texas Valley Road. I'm speaking here tonight on behalf of 38 residents and property owners in the Big Texas Valley Road and Fouché Gap community. We are all strongly opposed to the rezoning. I'd like to mention the names for the record. There are quite a few more people that would have liked to have been here, but for work and other reasons could not, and they could not contact me in time. And I'd be willing to submit signed affidavits stating this as well if needed. But just for the record, of myself, Clinton Carey Wilder, Lee and Dixie Bagley, Clinton Meredith Henderson, Ben McCree, Kay Presley Martinuska, Jason Pledger, Clayton and Megan Farmer, Brandon and Judy Correa, Kristen Buffington, Matt Cordell, Lacey Canada, Autumn Clark, Dan McCullum, Kazole Buffington, Stacy Pettit, Emmy Paris, Showman's Rides, if I have that name correctly, Judy Klein, Fran Murdoch, Kimberly Dale Young, Christina Dungan Wiggins, Christy Hines Pledger, Tanya Dutton Campbell, Danny and Heather Vitello, Christina Green, Jill Buffington, Bill Whitener, Mr. J. Floyd, Diane Loving, Robert Michael Early, Ginger Berry, Nancy Ballard Bolt, Chad and Brooke Wright, my neighbors, Diane and Mike Gardner, Sheila Hayes, Morgan Ayers, and Selena Harden Hodges. Now I mentioned that there's 34 people in the room I counted. That's 38 on my list right now that are opposed. All these are property owners and residents there. I've been serving on the Development Authority Board for Floyd County for 5 years now. I've been the vice chairman for the past 2 years, so I'm very familiar with the industrial development in Floyd County. And I'm very involved as a citizen, and so I have some, I'm very, very concerned and involved in our community. And I'm very familiar with Floyd County industrial development. Currently, like someone mentioned before, the area currently historically it's been a residential agricultural area. That's why I brought property out there. That's why everybody on this list buys property out there. Right now, if this passes, we don't have anything to gain and a lot to lose. Right now, the biggest issue is truck traffic. I don't know if you are familiar with the area, but right now, Big Texas Valley Road is the outer loop. The trucks cut from Highway 27 right at the coal plant at Evans Store, and they cut through, instead of going to the loop and going up 27, they cut through our road all hours of the day in the morning, and just to get over to Sykes Story Road to Highway 27 so they don't have to go to the loop. That happens now. They're not supposed to be on the road unless they have a load to deliver, and I see it all the time. So what happens is the roads get torn up. There are certain parts of the road, there are 2 bridges where a tractor trailer cannot stay in one lane, so they physically are crossing the road. And as far as the counties, you know, we've already repaired the edges and shoulders of the roads a lot. There's the 2 bridges that I mentioned. Also, someone mentioned as well, Big Texas Valley Road is a very popular road for cyclists and joggers. Okay, and there's no dedicated bike paths and so on. So more trucks, more potential for danger there. There's an overall increase in noise, the noise pollution, the Jake brakes, just the trucks themselves are loud. The dirt on the road, the big dirt clogs, the sticks and things like that, and just road debris. Also, there's environmental concerns, the wildlife, you know, see animals on the side of the road all the time that are hit and dead. But more importantly, most importantly, this is a direct threat to our property values. So I would just ask, if this were you and all you guys living next door and someone wanted to put in heavy industrial just down the street, what would that mean to you and what would you think about it? Now, as you know, heavy industrial can mean anything. That's heavy manufacturing. So there's no guarantee, and I've seen it. I've seen a lot of the plans. I've been involved with the chamber, going to the meetings since I moved to Rome 10 years ago. So just let you know that this is a huge issue. I think our residents are underrepresented. And again, if it give me another day or two, I could have another 38 people that would share in my opposition to the zoning. So I'd like to save my time for the other folks as well. But again, thank you for your time. I do appreciate it.
Thank you, Clint.
Ladies and gentlemen, appreciate this opportunity. I'm in the opposition to this as well. I have about 20.
Can you give us your name and address, please?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm Morgan Ayers, 224 Lavender Trail, Rome, Georgia. I've been on the mountain there for about 20 years. And the traffic, and as the gentleman just said, I've rescued several tractor trailers that's tried to go up the mountain that has not been able to do it. We've had quite a few incidences up there that were totally not too good. But this is a residential type area. And I'm in real estate agent, as you probably well know, and I know that I just worked with a group out of Charlotte, North Carolina that's bought the putt-putt. And that was one of their requirements. Is this a good residential area here for us to reach out to families where they have a place to come and bring their children and so forth. So I assured them that was, and I don't think heavy industrial right in that area is the best means for that property. There's quite a few other places in Rome that are good for heavy industrial, and that's not being used. And I would like to voice my opposition to that, as well as I know we've got quite a few others here that feel the same way that I do. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak in opposition?
My name is Diane Garner. I live at 215 Lavender Trail. We built our retirement home there and moved in 2000.
Bryce, can you check and make sure the speaker's on, please?
Turn it more to her mouth. There you go, right there.
My name is Diane Garner. I live at 215 Lavender Trail. My husband and I built our retirement home up there. We moved in the year of 2000, so we've been there 21 years. We were dismayed when we found out that it was being considered, the property at the foot of the mountain was being considered for heavy industrial. One of the reasons we moved there was for the beauty of the area. We are very concerned with the impact on the wildlife and the environment, not to mention the lessening of our property values, the taking away of the beauty that we moved up there to enjoy. The view from the mountain was one of the selling features and continues to be on the farther side of the mountain, selling feature for lots up there. We are concerned about pollution, and I was told that the delay to this month was at the request of the petitioner for them to meet with the neighbors and to be a good neighbor and to talk with us. Sadly, I've never heard anything of a meeting with the petitioner. Additionally, if you were to look at the property, it has been left in a state of disarray. It is, quite frankly, ugly. It is, the road has been damaged on Fouché Gap from their tree cutting apparatus that has been moved in and out of there. The edges of the road are very badly torn up. And I just question somehow, what kind of neighbor are we getting? Additionally, if you zone it heavy industrial, the intent can always change. Once you've let the horse out of the barn, you can't put it back. So I am voicing my concern and my husband's concern, and I am very much opposed to the rezoning. Thank you.
Thank you. We've run out of time on the speakers in opposition, so we appreciate all of you, and we'll close the public hearing. And I'll ask Commissioner Maxey.
You want to, he may have some extra minutes.
He's got time for rebuttal.
Rebuttal.
Ward, you have time for a rebuttal of anything that was said on that, if you care to.
I think the first thing I would start with is trucks on the road. At this point, if we were to sell some of our clay to our neighbor who has an open mining pit that's active currently, we would not be putting additional trucks on the road. They would simply shift those trucks over and remove the clay that was stockpiled on our site by Boyle Brick with the intention of it being utilized for bricks. I don't know why they never did, but nonetheless, so that's stockpiled on the surface of our site. They've expressed interest, so they would literally just take their existing trucks and shift them over and run until they extracted the stockpiles that are on our site, should we wind up working a deal with them for that. As far as future use that may add trucks to the road, we will abide by all federal, state, and local rules and guidelines as it pertains to safety. And it's our understanding that the trucks leaving our site must take a left going east out of our site. They're not allowed to go right, and we have no issue with that at all. It's also interesting that as long as we're timber managing and removing some of the soils, some of the clay for brick, for example, the landscape actually doesn't change. It actually remains the way it is currently. And then as far as protecting the integrity moving forward, change is always difficult. We are open to an employment center that comes to the area that can be a benefit to the county. At this date, we don't have a company in mind. We've just said we'd like to be a good member of the community, and if it creates jobs and that's a positive for the people, then absolutely we'd like to do that. With our site is actually broken up by multiple blue line creeks that we're going to be protective of. So we cannot go out there and build 6 million square feet of industrial space and these huge buildings. We can't do that on that site. The buildings that will be, the buildings that will be utilized for employment centers will have to be utilized well with a design that is environmentally friendly. And oftentimes what we do in these cases is we design it where you can't see the employment center from the road. So we can get creative with our designs at the appropriate time when we know who the employment center may be that could ultimately be a great benefit for the community, creating jobs. So we would ask that we remain open to that. And in the meantime, we'll continue to be good stewards of the environment and the property. And we're looking forward to replanting the timber, for example. I'm trying to think if there were some other issues. Thank you.
Thank you. No, we've had our rules hold. No.
It was part of his 10 minutes.
That's part of it. Yeah. Thank you. Commissioner Maxey, I'll turn it over to you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve with a special stipulation that there be no coal ash disposal on the property.
The motion is that we approve the presentment from the Planning Commission with the stipulation that there will be no coal ash deposited on the property. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hancock. Is there further discussion from the commission? If not, please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey.
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock.
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters.
Yes.
Chair Bagby.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Bryce, item 2, please.
Yes, sir. The next case is file Z21-08-08. Requests rezoning from heavy industrial to suburban residential for the property located at 0 Huffaker Road, Rome, Georgia, 30165, Floyd County tax parcels G12Y015 and G12Y045. Applicant owner Jeff Grant. These are the parcels outlined in red. As you can see, they are adjacent to residential on all sides. There is a 200-foot buffer requirement and setback requirement. If you go to the next slide, that's provided by the applicant. That shows you what that would look like. The lower section of those parcels are actually islands that you cannot access because you cannot drive through a buffer. You would literally have to land a helicopter in the middle of it to get to them, per the development code. This drastically reduces the shape of the size of the developable area of the parcels, as well as much more. Excuse me, never mind. That's provided by the applicants. And this does come with a recommendation of approval from staff as well as Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now open the public hearing. Those same rules apply. Those wishing to speak in favor of this application to change from heavy industrial to suburban residential. Those wishing to speak in favor.
Yes, my name is Ward White. I'm with Southern Consulting Services. When we purchased the 1,100 acres that was formerly owned by the Boral Brick Company, we've first decided to begin by moving towards timber management. Eventually we got to a point where we started to look at the different parcels and realized we needed some feedback on what might be the best use of some of these parcels for the community. So we're very appreciative of the City of Rome and the county for allowing us time to be able to get feedback and ask different opinions on what some of the sites might be utilized for today that maybe quite some time ago originally the area was different. Now it's grown up. This particular parcel has residential next to it. So to us, it seemed to make sense that we downzone to a residential community. We're working with our engineer, Chuck Harden, who's here today, with a local firm here in Rome. We're ways from knowing exactly what the density is going to be, for example, the size homes and how many houses are going to be in there. First, we've got to be able to determine exactly what land is usable, and then we'll come up with an appropriate layout that will be reflective of the values that need to be held by the surrounding existing community that's there already. So we've got a little ways to go before we come up with exactly what we're going to wind up putting there. But we felt that rezoning this to residential was more appropriate in this location next to existing residential than going the other direction with the industrial.
Thank you very much. Are there others who wish to speak in favor? If not, we will ask anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this to please come forward. Hearing and seeing none, we will close the public hearing, and I'll ask Commissioner Maxey for a motion.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Waters to approve item 2. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next request is SUP 21-08-01, which requests a special use permit for miniature warehouses for the property located at 2535 Shorter Avenue, Rome, Georgia 30165. Floyd County tax parcels H13X374, H13X371, and H13X373. Applicant owner Doug Weston III and Gary Smith. The parcel is outlined in red there. It's the old theater out in West Rome on Shorter Avenue. It's just shy of 8 acres. It is served by public water and sewer. The request is to convert it from a theater into a U-Haul storage facility. Normally, a property of this size, we would ask that it be rezoned to light industrial, but this has a retail component to it. They do offer a U-Haul type store where you can buy moving blankets, boxes, etc., as well as rent a U-Haul vehicle. These would be climate-controlled units. This does come with a recommendation of approval from staff, as well as an 8-0 approval from the Planning Commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are there those wishing to speak in favor of this proposal?
Hi, I'm Doug Weston. Address is 11300 Highway 92, Woodstock. I oversee U-Haul operations here for Northwest Georgia. So what we're trying to do with this site here, we have a corporate store on Shorter Avenue that we've just simply outgrown over the years. So we saw this site come available right down the street. It'd be perfect for our expansion so that we're able to continue to provide our products and services that we have to West Rome and Floyd County, well, since at least the 80s, if not longer. So what we need to make this work, of course, is a special use permit so that we can also have self-storage along with all the other products and services that we offer. So in a nutshell, that's what we're seeking to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there others that wish to speak in favor? Are there those who wish to speak in opposition? Seeing no other speakers, we will close this public hearing, and I'll again go to Commissioner Maxey.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this request.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Waters to approve item 3. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next application is Z21-08-05, which requests rezoning from suburban residential to heavy industrial for the property located at 0 Elliott Drive, Rome, Georgia 30165. Floyd County tax parcel G12Z001. Applicant owner Daniel Price and Berry College Incorporated. The total property is 89.6 acres. They are requesting to rezone the northern side of the railroad tracks, which is approximately 56 acres. As you can see, it currently has no road frontage. However, Berry also owns the next parcel to the north that is already zoned heavy industrial along Technology Parkway. As you can see, there is residential adjacent, but we still have that 200-foot buffer requirement in an effort to protect those homes. The future land use map for this property does show it as being industrial. This does come with a recommendation of approval for staff for the property northern of the railroad tracks. It also comes with an 8-0 approval from the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll open the public hearing on item 4. Those wishing to speak in favor.
Good evening. Be in front of you. Danny Price, General Counsel of Berry College, come to speak in favor of this rezoning application that was filed. It arose out of conversation with the Floyd County Development Authority and Missy Kendrick. If you're familiar with the parcel, it backs up to a rail spur. And it was brought to our attention that this piece, which separates the rail spur from the other heavy industrial parcel, it could not be marketed as one solid heavy industrial parcel for development, particularly with the current focus being on inland ports and container traffic using rail spur, without this parcel being rezoned. So we agreed that we would pursue this rezoning application so that it could be appropriately marketed, as was pointed out, and I think he provided a great summary of it. The only road access for this parcel, I have no idea why it's listed as 0 Elliott Drive, because it does not touch Elliott Drive. There are residential houses to the east, the rail parcel to the south, and then Technology Parkway to the north, which is the only public road access for this piece of parcel. It's the appropriate zoning for it. And as I have had a conversation with one of the residents there, I think it actually provides a better buffer and separation from whatever's there. Currently zoned suburban residential, the only option, if it's not rezoned, is to then try and do the entire rest of the parcel that sits north suburban residential. You're not going to get a road across Norfolk Southern's rail spur, and so it then becomes orphaned or unusable or has to be developed suburban residential, which then means no minimum lot sizes and basically any development right up to the back of those residential houses. With a 200-foot buffer and a setback and the buffers required, it makes sense to rezone this heavy industrial as Missy and the Development Authority asked us to do so.
Thank you, Dan.
Good afternoon. I'm Missy Kendrick with the Rome-Floyd County Development Authority. And as Danny has stated, we have been actually submitting this property for industrial prospects over the years. And this is part of the property that Berry had set aside with and for our community for economic development along Technology Parkway. But for some reason, this parcel never did get rezoned. And it's important because we have been marketing it and want to continue marketing this piece of property, this 165 acres total north of the rail line, as a rail-served site. But the parcel that we're talking about or asking for your support in rezoning is where the rail would have to come off in order to serve that site with rail. So that spur needs to come through some heavy industrial property, and in order to market it as 165 acres rail served, we need to have the entire parcel zoned for heavy industrial. So we ask for your support on the rezoning tonight.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak in favor?
Berry College and Danny certainly don't need our support, but when we were looking at rezoning our site from heavy industrial to residential, we were missing some of the key elements that can be such a great asset for your community when you're trying to generate jobs for the future. I have 2 sons, and I don't know what this world's going to be like, but I'm hopeful that jobs will be plentiful and opportunities will be amazing for them. So when we look at this, in our humble opinion, our property works nicely for residential, where their property, in our humble opinion, sets itself up nicely for a great asset for the community.
Thank you very much. Anyone else to speak in favor? If not, is there anyone who'd like to speak in opposition?
My name's Walter Tharp. I live at 141 Simpson Drive, and I own the property probably 1,000 foot down the railroad track. I've got 4.5 acres. And I know why they want to rezone this, and it makes sense for them, but one day they could actually come right there within my house, which I have 1,000 foot down the track and that 200 foot buffer, but my neighbors, they only have 200 foot. We can actually hear the factories over there on that Possum Trot Trail in the evening when it's quiet. So, you know, I don't know what they plan on building there, but I had to speak up and just let you know I oppose it. But I appreciate y'all's time and thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to speak in opposition? If not, we'll close the public hearing and I'll turn it over to Commissioner Maxey.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the request.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey to approve.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Waters. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
The next request is file Z21-08-01. This requests rezoning from agricultural residential to heavy industrial for the property located at 0 Calhoun Highway, Rome, Georgia, 30161. Floyd County tax parcel M11X012. Applicant Tom Waters, owner Waters Investment LLP. Excuse me. Property is approximately 33.5 acres in size. It is along Old Calhoun Highway. Don't mind go to the next slide. That's the application.
Amy, that one was
We
withdrawn.
jumped one there. Okay. Let's go back just a minute. Item 5 was, the application was withdrawn by the applicant at the Planning Commission, so no action will be taken on this. Item 6 is what Bryce is speaking of now.
All right, I believe this is it. This is it right here. So this is the applicant parcel outlined in red. It is at the corner of Old Calhoun Highway and Hermitage Road. Go to the next slide. You see the amount of industrial that's currently in the area that's been amassed by the Development Authority. This is part of an effort to acquire, I believe it's a 150-acre site. This would be part of that. This shows the 32 acres there. This does come with a recommendation of approval from the planning staff as well as the Planning Commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll open the public hearing. Are there those who would like to speak in favor of this proposal? Mr. Waters.
I'm Tom Waters, 22 Belmont Drive, Southwest, representing Waters Investments LP. We've granted an option to the Floyd County Development Authority for those 30-plus acres. Most of the property contiguous and adjacent to it is zoned heavy industrial, and we're seeking heavy industrial zoning. Thank you.
Is anyone else? Ms. Kendrick.
Frequent flyer miles tonight. I'm Missy Kendrick with the Rome Floyd County Development Authority, and as Mr. Waters stated, we approached them when our largest rail-served site in Floyd County, which was the 110-acre site on the corner of 53 and 140, once that was put under option under contract for sale to the Ball Corporation, we began, actually before that because we were negotiating with them, but we began looking for our next large rail-served site in Floyd County, and so we looked at what we currently had, and so we had about 60 some odd acres already that was part of our Northwest Regional Industrial Park, which was part of our joint development authority with Gordon County and Floyd County. And so we looked around it and we started approaching the neighbors to see if they might be willing to add their property to ours so that we could market a larger piece. And so we contacted the Waters and asked them if they might be willing to add their property to ours, and they were. So we are asking that you rezone this property to heavy industrial so that we can once again present a 102-plus acre rail serve site for industrial prospects. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else who'd like to speak in favor? Are there those who would like to speak in opposition? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I'll ask for a motion from Commissioner Maxey.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Maxey, a second by Commissioner Hancock to approve. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
I will recuse my vote as my husband has a financial interest in Waters LP.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Item 7, Bryce.
Yes, sir. The next request is Z21-08-06, which requests rezoning from community commercial to agricultural residential for the property located at 386 Miller Mountain Road, Glendale, Georgia, 30147, Floyd County tax parcel H19115, applicant owner Walter and Angela Ramirez Cruz. The property is just shy of 3 acres in size, as you can see there. It does have a couple of manufactured homes on it. There is no real proposed change in use. I believe they are seeking to replace one of the manufactured homes, if I remember correctly. And that was when the community commercial zoning was noticed. As you can see, all the parcels along Imogene Drive are zoned community commercial, which is interesting because it's a dirt road. The heavy industrial property, the triangle there, is a cell tower. This does come with a recommendation for approval from the staff as well as the planning commission. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll open the public hearing. Are there those that would like to speak in favor? Are there those that would like to speak in opposition? Seeing and hearing none, Commissioner Maxey.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Waters to approve. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8,
Yes,
right?
sir. The next 3 requests go together. They're family property that are side by side, but they are separately owned. C21-08-09 requests rezoning from heavy industrial to suburban residential for the property located at 338 Shannon Road, Rome, Georgia, 30161, Floyd County tax parcel L11W114, applicant owner Tommy Lee and Barbara Canada. The property is approximately 1 acre in size. It's occupied by a single-family home. There is no proposed change in use. The family was not aware that their property was owned heavy industrial. They're just seeking to correct the zoning to match the use. This does come with a recommendation of approval from the staff as well as an 8-0 approval from the planning commission.
Thank you very much. I would like to point out that even though these are properties are side by side with the same family involved, we have to have a public hearing on each one. So we'll open the public hearing for those wishing to speak in favor of this proposal.
And I can tell you that the family was unable to be here tonight. I believe they're in quarantine, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you. Is anyone here wishing to speak in opposition? Seeing and hearing none, Commissioner Maxey.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey to approve, second by Commissioner Hancock. Any further discussion? Ms. Elrod, please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Number 9.
The next one is file Z21-08-10, request rezoning from heavy industrial to suburban residential for the property located at 347 Shannon Road, Rome, Georgia, 30161, Floyd County tax parcel L11W115, applicant owner Tommy Lee Canada. This does come with a recommendation of approval from staff and planning commission.
Thank you very much. Anyone to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in opposition? We'll close the public hearing. Commissioner Maxey.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Waters to approve. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And next one is Z21-08-11, which requests rezoning from heavy industrial to suburban residential for the property located at 356 Shannon Road, Rome, Georgia, 3161, Floyd County Tax Parcel L11W 115A, applicant owner Leanne Canada. This does come with a recommendation of approval from the staff as well as an 8-0 approval from the planning commission.
Thank you. Open the public hearing. Is there anyone to speak in favor? Anyone to speak in opposition? We'll close the public hearing. Commissioner Maxey.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Waters to approve item 10. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters? Yes. Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you much. Bryce, thank you and Art very much for your presentations tonight. We'll leave our public hearings and move on with the agenda. I don't believe there are any resolutions tonight. I have nothing to report from the chairman's chair. Does any commissioner have anything from any of their assignments? We'll move on to Mr. McCord and the manager's report.
Yes, sir. Just briefly, I mentioned our litter pickup report for the year, 902 road miles and just over 86,000 pounds. We're doing the best we can do with prison crews, work crews. We were still missing community service, but working to try to get them back engaged, hopefully soon. Because of COVID, we're not able to do that, but we're holding our own and keeping up with that. I just want you to be aware of it.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, anything from you?
No report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We'll move into our consent agenda. Ms. Elrod's everything in order on the consent agenda?
Yes, it is, Mr. Chair.
Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waters, second by Commissioner Hancock to approve the consent agenda. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters? Yes. Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We have no old business tonight. New business, we have a few items under that. Mr. McCord, would you help us through that?
Yes, sir. Item 1, recommendation to approve, consider recommendation from Floyd County IT to move elections department to health department. This will include purchase of a switch, firewall, phone system for 4 lines, 1 fax machine, the amount of $12,700 from Logical Systems, $60 charge from Comcast for installation, and $310 monthly recurring cost from Comcast for phone and internet services.
Is there a motion on item 1?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waters, second by Commissioner Maxey to approve the IT additions for the new elections department. Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters? Yes. Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 2, consider recommendation from Purchasing Department for the purchase of a 6-yard dump truck from Peach State Truck Center LLC in the amount of $104,060, and additional $2,030 added to the budget for the purchase price. The additional balance is being made up from excess savings on other items. This was budgeted in 2017 SPLOST at $80,000. I will add we did upgrade the engine and transmission in this bid, and that was the main reasons for the increase.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on item 2?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Maxey, second by Commissioner Waters to approve item 2. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters? Yes. Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 3, consider recommendation from Purchasing Department to purchase 1 pneumatic roller from Caterpillar Cat CW16 in the amount of $93,250. This is from Yancey Brothers for Floyd County Public Works.
Thank you. Is there a motion on item 3?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waters, second by Commissioner Hancock to approve item 3. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters? Yes. Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 4, consider recommendation from Purchasing to purchase 1 F-250 for the Floyd County Public Works Department, Peach State Ford, in the amount of $25,360.
Do we have a motion on item 4?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hancock, second by Commissioner Waters to approve item 4. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey,
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 5, consider recommendation from Purchasing Department to approve a one-year contract with an option for 2 additional years with Scott Industries LLC for the handling and disposal of e-waste generated through recycling events at Rome Floyd Recycling.
Thank you. Do we have a motion on item 5?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waters, second by Commissioner Hancock to approve item 5. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Maxey,
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 6 is a consideration of recommendation of employee insurance. We had a presentation by the Finance Department, our Carrier Gallagher, as well as Darrell Bowie, HR Director, and we've had a lot of discussion on this over the last several months, put a lot of work into this. Under medical coverage, we are making some changes. Increase out-of-pocket maximum went from $4,200 to $5,200. We do have one claim that is being recommended to be lasered. We're also still maintain our $2,500 HRA deductible with $1,500 reimbursement by Floyd County, as well as some other included items that will help us try to improve our savings. Our claims are projected to be 9.7 through the end of the 2021-2022 plan year. We do think that is slightly high. We're about $500,000 behind 2021 through this point and the same point last year. We're hoping that we stay well below that. Our annualized projections are $7.1 million. Under dental coverage, basically remain the same, staying with Anthem. No significant increase. Also recommending a legal insurance provider through ARAG. This is a new offering to this year's plan year. It is also optional, not required, but a good option for some employees who have actually reached out about that. Under short-term disability, long-term disability, basic life, voluntary life, accidental and critical illness, no changes. The only exception would be if you moved into a new age bracket or if your salary changes with either plan. And under pharmacy benefit, we're looking at a program through script sourcing where we would have an assigned executive to look at certain prescriptions that can be found, either brand or specialty medications, at no additional charge to the employee, but savings to the county. And we will be actually have an individual working towards that. On the health insurance coverage, our recommendation from the committee, as well as myself, is a 5% increase to our health insurance plan. It's unfortunate that we're continuing to having to increase, but just to briefly list, this would be a $14.07 increase over a wellness employee only, $25.24 for two-party, $28.11 for employee children, and employee family, it goes up $35.91. We still would be below 20% on the employee contribution side on each of the following. So it is my recommendation to move forward with, as presented in caucus and the brief summary I just gave it, 5% increase monthly.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion on item 6?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Waters, second by Commissioner Hancock to approve recommendation for the employee insurance fund. Any further discussion? I would like to make a point for our employees that our partner in this, Garner and Glover Insurance, plus our HR department there are many things that are pluses. There are some things that might have some increases to them, but a great education program is going to be done with also a new program to monitor wellness and to help people gauge where they stand with their health. And we think this took months and months of work, and we appreciate the effort that was put into it. Please call the roll. Ms. Elrod.
Commissioner Maxey,
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
Yes.
Chair Bagby?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item 7.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, recommendation to approve Summer Robinson as 911 Director. As you have been briefed over the last several weeks, Summer has done an excellent job for us as Assistant Director, and with our reorganization plan that we made, requires a little additional attention. She's done an excellent job over 21 years with 911. She has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. She's been a 911 dispatcher, a shift supervisor, and also the Assistant Director, and is on this career track. And I'm totally confident in her ability. I'm excited about this, and I think the department's going to be excited about it because I'm part of the problem in taking John away and some of the changes that we've made. But they're going to be a good team working together going forward. And again, I do bring that to you as a recommendation to approve.
Thank you. We have a recommendation to approve from our manager. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hancock, second by Commissioner Waters to approve Summer Robinson as the Public Safety Division Director. Please call the roll.
911 Director.
Commissioner Maxey?
Yes.
Commissioner Hancock?
Yes.
Vice Chair Waters?
I think she just got promoted
Yeah.
to all of public's,
911
all of,
Director,
yeah. That's okay, but absolutely yes.
It's a recommendation from John. Excuse me.
Man, her face really turned red now.
Chair Bagby?
Yes. John,
Motion
John,
carried.
my fault. Has any other business come before the group? We did go into executive session in caucus to discuss property, personnel, and legal matters. No action was taken. Any other business? If not, we stand adjourned.